"Jackson, you're fired." The words cracked through the boardroom like a gunshot. Every executive froze, their polished smiles collapsing. Chairs scraped the floor as heads whipped toward the speaker. It wasn't another shareholder. It wasn't a rival executive. It was the cleaning lady. She stood in her dark green uniform, calm and unshaken. In her hands, a thick folder stamped with the company's crest. Her eyes didn't waver as she looked straight at Jackson. For years they had laughed in her presence, dismissed her as invisible, but today she owned the room. Beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows, Dallas shimmered in the morning sun. Inside, silence pressed against every wall. No one could understand how the woman who scrubbed their floors now had the power to remove their untouchable CEO. No one except her. Just 1 hour earlier, the office buzzed with the usual morning chatter. Phones rang. Coffee machines hissed. Nobody noticed her slip in through the side door. Her cart rolled quietly over the polished floor. The faint squeak of the wheels was drowned out by laughter from the corner offices. A stack of white cloth sat neatly on the top shelf, ready for another day. She wore the same dark green uniform she'd worn for years. To them, it was part of the furniture. To her, it was armor. A young executive brushed past without eye contact. Another stepped around her cart as if it were in the way. Someone muttered, "She's not even doing anything." Thinking she couldn't hear, she kept her head down, her hands steady, her eyes calm. But behind that calm, something had been building. Something they would never see until it was too late. They had no idea who she really was. To them, she was just another face in the background, the one who appeared when meetings ended, who erased the traces of their day. But she noticed everything. The way Jackson dominated every conversation, his voice heavy with certainty, the sideways glances between board members when numbers didn't add up, the smug laughter in the hall when someone else's mistake became their joke. Years of watching had taught her patience. Patience to keep her steps quiet. Patience to let them underestimate her. This morning, as the chatter about profits and promotions filled the air, she listened without a word. Her cart kept moving. Her uniform swayed with each step, and in her mind, she replayed a promise she'd made to herself long ago. When the time came, she would stop being invisible. And when she did, no one in this building would forget it. The morning light spilled across the lobby's glass doors. She paused for a moment, adjusting the strap of her gloves before pushing them open. Evelyn had been walking these halls for nearly a decade. She knew every corner, every echo of footsteps, every flicker of the fluorescent lights above. Her day began before most arrived, polishing glass until it shone, vacuuming the thick carpet in long, straight lines, stacking stray papers into neat piles for people who never noticed. Some greeted her with a polite nod. Most didn't look at her at all. She'd learned not to expect it. Yet, beneath the steady rhythm of her work, there was a quiet strength. A lifetime of raising 2 children, surviving hardship, and finding peace in routine had made her unshakable. Today, that strength was heavier, not from fatigue, but from knowing she was walking into the last ordinary day they would ever have. Her uniform was always clean, pressed, and the same shade of deep green. It blended into the muted tones of the office walls. For her, it was more than work gear. It was a shield. The fabric hid the tension in her shoulders. The pockets carried small tools, cloths, and keys that unlocked every door. Keys that let her pass through spaces most employees never entered. Evelyn's cart moved with a slow, steady rhythm. The faint scent of disinfectant trailed behind her. She placed fresh water in the conference room, adjusted chairs without a sound, and slipped out before meetings began. She was there when deals were celebrated. She was there when tempers flared. She was there when whispered secrets leaked into the air, carried on careless voices. And while they barely noticed her presence, she noticed everything. Every smirk, every careless word, every act of pride or cruelty. Each one quietly stored away for the day she would need them. That morning, her path took her past 2 junior managers. They leaned against the doorway, talking louder than necessary. "Jackson's untouchable," one said with a grin. "The board loves him. No one would dare challenge him." Evelyn kept moving, her eyes on the floor, but the words lost